What's going on, Seahawks fans? This is Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and unfortunately today we just got the worst news imaginable. Derick Hall's one-game suspension has been upheld, and I think a lot of us were kind of hoping that after reviewing the video, hey, yeah, maybe he didn't entirely mean to step on Dotson, and the NFL might work around what they were going to do. Maybe they weren't going to suspend him. Maybe they would end up just fining him. Unfortunately, that's not what it's going to be. And you can see this from the original suspension announcement from the NFL. They said that basically Hall unnecessarily stepped on the leg of Rams guard Kevin Dotson at the end of a play, and that it was an unsportsmanlike conduct act, and it was an act that basically was nowhere near the sportsmanship that needs to be exhibited in the game of the NFL. He will be eligible to come back to the Seahawks Hall, that is on Monday, December 29th, immediately after the 28th game against the Panthers. So I'm going to ask you, because I saw a lot of people in my comment section pretty frustrated about the Derick Hall suspension. Should he have been suspended? Was his step on Kevin Dotson enough to garner a suspension in your mind? Let me know down below in the comments, yes or no. All right, so we are going to be without Derick Hall for one game, and while some people might say, it's fine, whatever, who cares? He's a backup, and his season numbers haven't been fantastic. I still think that there is a reason why you want Derick Hall on this football roster. Now, I will say that it has been disappointing this year for Derick Hall. There was an expectation between Hall and Mafe where two players, we've seen them play extremely well other years. We kind of thought, hey, maybe this would be the year they step up. They kind of learn from those around them, Uchenna Nwosu, DeMarcus Lawrence, and then they kind of take over for them. Whereas Uchenna Nwosu and DeMarcus Lawrence have really hit the fountain of youth. Now, he's got well over 20 total tackles, but Derick Hall really hasn't been able to get after the quarterback after a year last year where we thought he got to the quarterback quite a decent bit. And I kind of want to ask the question of what does this mean for the defense? Derick Hall is a quality backup that you have on your roster. And in the one game where you didn't have DeMarcus Lawrence against the Arizona Cardinals in that second half the very first time, Derick Hall played a pretty decent game in relief for him. We also saw Derick Hall get hurt against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Seattle doesn't have anyone after Derick Hall. So the question then becomes, well, if Derick Hall is suspended, how careful do we need to be with DeMarcus Lawrence? We're going to get into all of that in just one moment, but before we do, I need to let you know about our good friends over at Rocket Money, the sponsor of our fine video today. Most of us know we should take control of our finances, but it's hard to know where to start. Rocket Money gives you the clarity and confidence to take that first step, helping you cut wasteful spending and take meaningful action towards your financial goals. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. The app automatically scans your bills to find opportunities to save and then goes to work to get you better deals. They'll even talk to customer service so you don't have to. Rocket Money has saved users over $2.5 billion, including over $880 million in canceled subscriptions alone. Their 10 million members save up to $740 a year when they use all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/SeahawksChat today. That's rocketmoney.com/SeahawksChat. rocketmoney.com/SeahawksChat. All right. So Derick Hall is a sneaky big loss for the Seahawks. And this isn't me trying to tell you this. If you know ball, you know how important having depth on your roster is. So when you lose a player that can be that number 2 edge for you, you're now looking at a third edge player to come in. And what a lot of Seahawks fans do not realize is while Mike Macdonald likes to rotate his players, and he has done a fantastic job of doing so this year, his edge rotation is really just 4 guys. It's DeMarcus Lawrence, Uchenna Nwosu, Derick Hall, and Boye Mafe. You know we haven't seen Jared Ivey go a whole lot this season. You know we have not seen Connor O'Toole go a whole lot this season. So you are trusting now DeMarcus Lawrence, Uchenna Nwosu, and Derick Hall to hold up their end of the deal while Derick Hall is out. You need Boye Mafe, Uchenna Nwosu, and DeMarcus Lawrence to rotate 3 guys between 2 positions. That means we are going to ask DeMarcus Lawrence and Uchenna Nwosu to get more reps than they have all season long. Now, I'm not saying that their bodies can't withstand it, but we do have to understand that these are older players. These are 2 guys that have been around for quite a while. And while they can be successful adding in more plays to their repertoire for just one game, what I think is important to note with this team and with those 2 is they are at their best when they are used at 60% of the snaps that a normal starter would get. So, does that mean that Seattle would come in then and use a replacement? Well, it seems easy to me that the replacement would be Connor O'Toole. Now, this isn't an attack on Jared Ivey necessarily, but Seattle has not chosen to use him this year. While O'Toole hasn't got a lot of time, as you can see from his stats this year, but he's gotten a little bit of time. So he's a guy that we know can go out there and at least be serviceable if you have to use him in a couple of shorter situations. He can be a guy that you use for a couple of snaps here or there. What's most important after the Derick Hall situation, and now that we know that the suspension is going to be upheld, we have to stay healthy in Carolina. This Panthers team knows that they need to win this football game. Now, whether they win or lose does not necessarily eliminate them from the playoffs because they will play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Week 18. This is a Carolina Panthers team that does not want to put all their eggs in beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers basket. They are a team that is going to want to come out firing against the Seattle Seahawks. They are a team that knows they have to find a victory against Seattle, and they are going to play as hard as they possibly can. We have to stay healthy, not just for this game, but for the long term, because there are a few positions where we are super deep. In the safety position, we're deep. Kobe Bryant's out. I trust Ty Okada to come in and play extremely well because he's shown that. I don't know that I can trust Connor O'Toole or Jared Ivey to come in and play up to the same level that Derick Hall has because I haven't seen that. So we have to stay healthy, specifically at that edge rusher position because we just aren't that deep there. I understand that the Panthers are floating right around 500. I understand that the Seahawks are the number 1 team in the NFC. But the Panthers cannot be overlooked. They are a team that is frisky that could potentially beat us. Shoot, they beat the LA Rams, and they beat them a lot easier than we did. It's the perfect trap game right now. You just had your biggest win of the season, and next week you're going to have a big game that really matters against the San Francisco 49ers. It would be easy to overlook the Carolina Panthers. That cannot happen. Type agree if you agree. Type disagree if you disagree and you think the Panthers are going to be a walk in the park. Remember, at the beginning of the year, I said this game was going to be very meaningful. And it's meaningful just like I said it was. Congratulations to me. Make sure that you come in and subscribe to the channel. The minute that we have breaking news on the Seattle Seahawks, we get a video out for you. Schefter tweeted that Derick Hall was going to be out. I got a short out for you, breaking down all of the latest information that you had to know. So make sure that you hit that sub button so you never miss any Seattle Seahawks news. And until next time, I'll catch y'all later.